Hi everybody. I'm doing a tag today. My name's Christopher, and a couple weeks ago, Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, whom I've become friends with over the past few months, mentioned me in the positivity tag video, which was created by Gareth over at Book Songs and Other Magic, and inspired by MJ at Reading This Life, and done by a few booktubers I've seen now. Like I saw Book Chat with Pat's positivity video as well. And I really like this tag, and I find all of those people to be very positive in a way that I like a lot. I would say all of them put a smile on my face when I listen to their videos, and I admire their positivity. And a lot of other people as well. Um, anyway, my point is that I was excited, and I want to try this as my very first ever tag for Tag Tuesday. So the positivity tag. All right. The first prompt is books that make me happy, and this is a book that literally made me happy about 15 years ago. I was feeling pretty depressed, and our house, I have a big family, we have 5 children, and our house was getting crazy. A lot of clutter, getting kind of gross, and I just felt overwhelmed by the things that were happening, uh, you know, how we were living. And it's hard to get on top of everything when you're feeling at a low place. So this book, called Sink Reflections by Marla Cilley, the FlyLady, is it was wonderful for me at the time. So the cover's ripped off now. This is the original one, and I've kept it over the years, but I haven't read it since then. I read it twice, I think, during that time. And she just goes through lots of stuff in here that's just really great. Just how to organize your life, how to pull yourself out of these holes that I can find myself in sometimes. It begins with a 12-step process for shining your sink. And the idea is that you get your sink, which is sort of the heart of house cleaning. And I agree with that still. Uh, you get that as clean as possible, and it gives you a little bit of motivation to tackle harder things, or at least you feel like you've accomplished something, and a sense of self-pride. And this book is a lot about things like that. There's clutter as a roommate, and really what it gets down to is things like procrastination, perfection, and fear. These are all things that I have problems with. Like, I want things to be too perfect, so maybe I better not do it at all. That sort of thing freezes me all the time. And so this book gets at the root of it, and frankly, I think I ought to look at it again. It's time for a reread of this sucker. And while I was researching this, I found out that FlyLady is on YouTube. Little did I know that this woman who changed my life, and I really believe that she did. Um, a lot of the things in here were exactly the things that I was feeling, and a lot of the anxieties that I have. So anyway, she has a big YouTube channel, and I had no idea this book from 15 years ago. A very positive book that made me happy. Yeah. All right. The second prompt is a reliable author, always a safe bet. Now, this author is Joe Abercrombie for me, and frankly, it's because I wouldn't say necessarily that Joe Abercrombie is a positive guy. He's from the grim dark fantasy genre. So this is more about just an author that I can go to that I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to have a good time, and his writing is just so excellent. He writes the first Law trilogy, and I have listened to just about all of his books on audio. The narrator is Stephen Pacey, and he is great, fantastic. He brings the characters alive, and Joe Abercrombie, the thing about him is he makes exquisite characters. in the original First Law trilogy, there's Logan Ninefingers, who's sort of this proto Conan, but definitely has his own characterization. Uh, there's a lot of fun stuff going on in him. There's Archwizard Baez, which is this wizard character who looks like a butcher, and he Joe Abercrombie is really good at picking up the little details and putting them in situations that really make their character shine. My favorite character is Inquisitor Glockta, and he's in several books, and um, yeah, an amazing character. So Joe Abercrombie is definitely an author that I can go back to. And a nice thing about him is, although it's fantasy, a lot of his books read like other genres. So he has a book that's kind of like a Western, which is called Red Country, and a book that's kind of like a war story called The Heroes. And they're all set in the same universe, but they have the tropes of other genres within them. Um, yeah. Anyway, Joe Abercrombie is an author that I can go to and definitely will pick up my mood, make me feel positive. All right, a recent experience I'll never forget. This has to do with Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. Um, while we went to visit the museum, and while we were there, we saw a poster nearby of the Rose City Book Pub, where Sophia Lechner was scheduled to recite Paradise Lost by John Milton from memory. So we gave it a try, and it's real. Oh man! So it's amazing, first of all, that this person is Sophia is able to recite this huge, long, epic poem from memory. But she uses a lot of different voices, so it helps to make it so that you can tell what's going on in this story, because it's kind of complicated. This poem was written in 1666, and just listening to it cold, like I am, I've not read the thing, and I don't read it beforehand. Uh, Having those different voices that she does is amazing, and I'm in wonder because she, oh man, she remembers all of this stuff, which is a feat in of itself, but also just how much love she has for this poem is apparent in her recital. Um, One of the recent people who showed up asked her, "How long have you been living with this poem?" And she said 15 years. And I believe that because you can just tell how much love has gone into memorizing this enormous poem, split into 10, 12 parts. Uh, anyway, there's no way I'm going to forget about this. So thank you very much, Alan, for coming with me to do this. This is the sort of thing that I would like never do if I didn't have someone to bring along, and it's been fun to have a knowledgeable person like Alan to help me get through the Paradise Lost. So anyway, that is definitely something that was positive that I'm going to remember forever. Okay, Booktube shout out. Well, I mentioned at the top, Gareth MJ, Allen, Crystal over at Fiber Artsy, read by Fred. There's just so many booktubers that make me smile and have a genuine positivity that helps make my day better as a big booktube fan. And I gotta say, one nice thing about booktube is, generally speaking, it's a positive place, but not that toxic positivity that people sometimes talk about, which I don't really want to get into. But anyway, so all of those people, but the booktuber that I'm going to mention specifically, I don't think would call himself a booktuber. I think he's a math tuber, and he's a pretty big math tuber, but his name is the Math Sorcerer. And the reason why I would call him a booktuber is because he loves to show off his math textbook collection, and he loves to like sniff in there and then show us the problems. And this came from the 1800s, and this is something that was published at MIT in 1963, and all of these different topics, all the way from some of the more basic like high school math or early college math up to very niche math topics. And he's an extremely positive guy. you know, a lot of people have math anxiety. I've heard it myself where it's like, you mention math. Oh, excuse me a moment. You mention math and they say, get away from me. I don't even want to talk to you right now. And there's just so much math anxiety, and the math sorcerer is really good at helping talk through that for those who have to do math but don't want to, or for people who are starting to love math but are afraid because it's just intimidating. You know, I love math very much, and I get intimidated as well. Like it's a and so very positive, and I would call him a booktuber. I don't know if he even knows the term, but check out the Math Sorcerer if you're either a little bit interested in math, or if you're like, I have to do math and I hate my life right now, because he will help you out for sure. Great guy. Okay, prompt 5, something that you're looking forward to most. That I thought about this one for a little bit, for a while actually. And there are some things coming up. I'll have some family visiting soon, and I'm very excited about that because I haven't seen them in a long time. Visiting from Alaska. We live in Portland, so we don't get to see the family that often. Um, but another thing that I'm really looking forward to, this is a little sideways. Um, I think some of the best times in my life, when I've looking back, like some of the best things that have happened have been unexpected. You know, new children that we didn't know were coming is has always been wonderful, and you know, new jobs. One time, my wife got a political job that kind of jump started her career, and she put a lot of work into that, getting that job, but it still felt like, and a lot of times with her, it's just I'm surprised at the things that come into our life that I never would have expected, because I don't really plan ahead very much. I'm not a planner. So I'm now 7 squared, 49, and I feel like I've got some more exciting turns of events happening ahead. And that's what I'm really looking forward to, is just some unexpected surprise twist that's going to change my life for the good. But I'm also really looking forward to family. So if you happen to see this family, I can't wait to see you for sure. It's going to be fun. All right. And then the last thing is something that you are proud of. So for this, I think the thing that I am most proud of is when my kids show kindness to each other or to someone else, or when I hear from someone else a kindness that they've shown. It's very touching for me. Um, it, I, I, I hear a lot of negative things, some of which feel like they are, some of which feel like, I don't know how to say this. I get sad by some of the negative things that I hear in the world, and I think we all do. And whenever I see kindness, it gives me a lot of hope for people and for our world. And when I see that come from my children, I can't help but feel pride, because to me, kindness is just one of those things that we all have to strive for, and sometimes it's quite difficult. And unfortunately, I see a lot of unkindness. I think, again, you know, we all do. So I'm so proud whenever I hear about one of my kids doing something kind for someone else, because sometimes it really surprises me too. You know, it's out of nowhere, and it's a wonderful feeling. Like it's a little bit painful in my in my in my middle being for how feeling kindness affects me, or seeing kindness affects me. Having trouble getting all that out. Thank you. So that is the positivity tag, and thank you, Alan, for mentioning me. And let's see. I will tag the Math Sorcerer. I doubt he's been tagged in this. And of course, if this tag sings to you, then please, I'd love to see the video that you make or what you have to say about it in the comments. Thank you, Gareth and MJ, for sort of generating this tag. It's wonderful, and I hope we get to see a lot of it going forward as well. So, happy reading.